Shalom, Israel. I'm Captain LeBron. Those who like school, you can't be commanding from your honor. Invite all black men out to the 6th annual Fire Weekend.
Shalom, Israel. Come to the Fire Weekend, man. Chicago. Midwest Fire Weekend. You know how we get down. July 21st to the 24th. We're going to be in Chicago.
Under the Midwest Mosque in the set, capital for $13,000 July 21st, we got 12 children in training with the scripture breakdown class. Followed by Captain Tadariyat and Captain Katazan across the line radio.
You know what I'm saying? We got the Bantu Festival coming back. We got the election coming. We're going to kick off the election with Captain Ash, Captain Katazan, and Kazak Yad. It's going to be called Before Columbus Came.
On the 24th of July, we're going to be doing the Black and Brown Unity Cookout. Shalom, Israel, to all my blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. From July 21st through the 24th, we're going to be holding the Midwest Fire Weekend. On July 21st, we hold a scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., followed by Cross the Line Radio. On July 22nd, we're going to be having camp on the Magnificent Mile from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And guess what? Commanding General Yohana will be speaking at 3 p.m. We're going to be located at 401 North Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. After that, we're going to have the Before Columbus Came lecture from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. located on 9909 Roosevelt Road, Suite 100. On July 23rd, you can catch us at the Bantu Festival from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're going to be located at 1130 Midway Playtime Park, Chicago, Illinois. And then last but not least, we're going to be having the Black and Brown Unity Cookout from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. located at Douglas Park, 1200 West 12th Place. For more information, call 708-299-5821. Again, 708-299-5821. Also, if you would like to help out and support this troop and brotherhood, go to the Midwest Fire Weekend Black and Brown GoFundMe account and make a generous donation.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm on West for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I'll tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, send a curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business, this loyalty and death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind fit. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. The devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like Van Pelt, but ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. Try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death do us part. So how you feel about this truth I done shown you? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Been giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In Puff Smoke, never tried to. The day that all my brother be the day that's soldado. In the photo, salute my nigga. Salute my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she need me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. Know what it is, man. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people gon' disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on,
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it post shit. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army. Going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, Kimo Sabe got this bitch off the hand. Got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it coach shit. One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my new
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS. A mean right. That's mean right. We build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
Testing. Hold on. The button is flashing now. Maybe it's going.
Someone want to get the door, please?
Say what?
That microphone.
Well, I have no idea what you're doing. That's your department. Yeah, but we all good?
You are live now.
Okay, Most High in Christ. We are the Israelite School of UPK. We started off at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, in 1969, man. Commander General Yohana is our leader and the only authority over the entire house of Israel. What we do is we go throughout the earth and we set the record straight on the truth of the Bible, contrary to what we've been taught our whole entire lives. You know, Christ was not that image that Grandma, showed you. The water baptism is of none effect. The law is not done away with. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of God. And we teach that and we prove it in the Bible every single day in the Israelite School of UPK. And we've been doing it since 1969. Today is Thursday, our scripture breakdown class, where we go throughout the Bible, we answer questions, we deal with scoffers, anybody that can contend with me in regards to what I just said, give us a call. Put a question in the comment section, man. Give us what your beliefs are in regards to the Bible, and watch how we discredit and disprove everything that you stand on. All right. Without delay, we'll start off with any questions from the audience. You got anything, Michelle?
No, God. You got any questions, Dr.
Actually, let me do this right here, man. The fire weekend it starts with July the 21st. Is that correct? Through the 24th. So this coming up July the 21st through the 24th, Israelite School of UPK is going to Chicago, Illinois, and hosted by Captain Marquardt under Commander General Yohana. And what we're going to do is host our 5th annual fire weekend. And what that entails is us getting together from all over the country, even other parts of the world, like brothers coming in from the UK, brothers coming in from Trinidad and Tobago, just, all of the zones that we operate in, man. We're going to merge on Chicago, man, and this year's theme is trying to bring our Hispanic brothers and sisters into the fold, right? Because I don't know if everybody noticed it, but our Hispanic brothers and sisters, still got their head up Cedric Bourgeois' a-hole. And it's a disgrace that they believe God is a white man. So the theme this year of Fire Weekend under Commander General Yohana in the city of Chicago from July 21st to the 24th, is to try to show these brothers and sisters, man, that the only reason why they speak Espanol, man, is because they was conquered by the Spanish people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The reason why they believe Christ was a white man is because they were conquered by white people.
Right.
You know what I mean? The only reason they believe in Christmas is because they was conquered by white people. Thanksgiving and Easter bunnies. All of this nonsense, man, is only because our Hispanic brothers and sisters have been conquered, just like the rest of us. They were conquered by the Spanish, we were conquered by the English.
Right.
That's why I speak this English fluently. Right? But it's a thing that we need to do, man, and that is to appeal to them. Ain't nothing to be afraid. I know Judites can be intimidated. You know what I mean? Everybody, they can push the narrative that all we want to do is have sex with your woman.
Right.
But it's time to let that go. You know what I mean? So this year, man, from July the 21st to the 24th, we're going to be in Chicago, man. You know what I mean? Tearing it down. You know what I mean? Commander General Yohana, we got a hell of a lecture planned. Ashaparian, man, and Captain Katazah, they got some hell of a lectures planned. We got, the Before Columbus Came lecture. Just the title of that, it's like, God damn, that seemed like that's so fire. You know what I mean? Before Columbus came, what were you Hispanics doing out there? What were you praising? What language did you speak? What did you call your land? You know what I'm saying? What was important to you? And I believe that's what that lecture is going to entail, man, setting the record straight. How we were as a people prior to Columbus coming over and conquering every goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? And his wickedness. So yeah, man, join us July the 21st through the 24th for our 5th annual fire weekend hosted by Captain Mark Quad and the Israelite School EPK and the Commanding General Yohana. All right, Mashad, first question. You got a question, Kapan? Please.
I'm going to break down Nehemiah chapter 10, verses 29 through 31.
All right, go ahead, give it to me.
This is Nehemiah chapter 10, verse 29 through 31. They clave to their brethren, their nobles, and entered into a curse, into an oath to walk in God's law, which is given by Moses, the servant of God, and to observe and do all the commandments of the Lord our Lord, and his judgments and his statutes, and that we would not give our daughters unto the people of the land, nor take their daughters for our sons, and that the people of the land bring ware of any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, and that we would leave the 7th year and the exaction of every day.
And we will leave the what? The 7th year?
We will leave the 7th year.
I believe that part is talking about, we also had a 7-year Sabbath. But back up a little bit. Go to, give me 2 verses above where you started.
Verse 27, verse 28. And the rest of the people, the priests, the Levites, the porters, and the singers, and the Nethinims, and all they that had separated themselves from the people of the land unto the law of God, their wives, their sons, and their daughters, everyone having knowledge and having understanding. They clave to their brethren and their nobles, and entered into a curse and into an oath.
Is that the part where you need entered into a curse and into an oath?
Well, verse 31.
Okay, you understand what that means? That entered into a.
Sorry, I get that.
Okay, go ahead. So tell me what that means. Entered into a curse. Break that down for me. The first part of what you read.
That's kind of like supposedly Nazarite vow type of thing. When you make an oath that you would do something and you break it, like
So you thinking that that's a new oath?
I'm not new, but I'm saying like.
Where did that oath come from? What are they referring to when you read that?
I mean, when I hear, I think it's Nazarite vow.
But it's not saying Nazarite vow. It's saying they entered into a what? Read it again.
Entered into a curse.
A what?
A curse. We
entered into a curse. Go ahead. And what else? I got you.
And into an oath.
And into a what?
Oath.
Go ahead.
To walk in God's law.
That's the answer right there. Right? Like, what have we done here in this room? Have we not reaffirmed our commitment, our oath to the Most High? All right, and then by doing so, if you violate that statute that you've embraced, that you signed on to, right? Like when you come into the UPK, General Muhammad has taught it many times, right? And you get that Hebrew name, right? And you become an officer, etc. Right? You entered into another agreement with the Lord. Right? This is that new covenant that was spoken about. That we're participating in right now. Like when you out there in the world and you governing yourself, is there somebody telling you that this is not a lawful thing to eat? Or she's not a lawful woman to engage in? What is telling you not to do certain things when you're out in the world? You're out there by yourself. You ain't got me on your goddamn back. What's telling you what to do and how to operate when you by yourself in the world? Your inward parts, right? Your spirit is speaking to you. Yeah, that look good and it smell good, but the Lord said it ain't good for me, so I'm not doing it. Right? Read it again. But if you was to do it, right? If you was to do it, what would you be causing to come upon yourself? The curse. So you entered into that curse, right? So we're just talking. Read it again from the top, from the verse.
And the rest of the people, the priests and the Levites and the porters and the seat. I'm sorry. Verse 29. They claimed to their brethren their noble and entered into a curse and into an oath to walk in God's law.
They entered into a curse and into an oath to walk in God's law. That sounds like something that we done coming out of Egypt, right? So it's just a reaffirmation of it, right? I believe. Keep going.
And which was given by Moses, the servant of God, to observe and do all the commandments of the Lord.
Right, which was given to Moses. So we're talking about something that is old, not new, right? This is an old covenant, an old affirmation. You know what I mean? An old constitution. This is something that has already taken place because Moses is dead and gone. So we're referring to what? The same covenant that we made coming out of Egypt. Right? Keep going.
And his judgments and his statutes, and that we would not give our daughters into the people of the land.
Is that an old law or a new one? That's old. That's something that was established back in Moses' day. That we shouldn't take their daughters or give our daughters to them. It's not new. Right? Keep going.
And nor take their daughters for our sons. And if the people of the land were aware of any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell.
We just talking about further enforcement of the law. If the people did something that broke the law, like selling on the Sabbath day, keep reading.
That we would not buy it from them on the Sabbath.
That we wouldn't engage in that unlawful act to increase our bottom line, right? Keep going.
Or on the holy day.
Go ahead.
And that we will leave the 7th year and the exaction of every day.
The seventh year. So it was a 7-year Sabbath as well. Right? Keep going.
And also we made ordinances for us to charge ourselves yearly with the third part of the shekel for the service of the house of our God.
So that was another thing that they committed to doing. Is giving up a third to the house of the Lord every year. Right? Keep going.
For the showbread and the continual meat offering.
Those were things that was written in what? That's not a new thing, that's an old thing, right? Keep going.
And for the continual burnt offering of the Sabbath.
You need anything else? You need more on that?
No.
So it's just a react. It's like, I believe this is what we're doing right now. You know what I mean? At one point, go ahead.
Well, I know people say they can't buy everything on Saturday, use discount at precept, chapter 31.
You're saying, your question is about buying on the Sabbath day? Okay, can you purchase anything on the Sabbath day? Is that your question?
I would say you can, but like, that's why when we break down the religion, this sounds like you can't.
Well, does the law say you can't buy or sell on the Sabbath day? You sure? Don't know. Give me the scripture where it says the Sabbath was made for man. Can you go work out on the Sabbath day? Can you, go ahead, young man.
It just said no servile work.
Right, so what does servile work mean?
Like
what does that mean?
Going to a job.
Yeah, like no servile work is like, pull a precept. Please, yes.
Mark 2:7. said unto them, the Sabbath was made for men, and not man for the Sabbath.
Read it again.
And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath.
So, if I went out and purchased something on the Sabbath day, right, and that thing that I purchased was pleasing to me, would that be unlawful? Now, what's wrong on the Sabbath day is to require somebody that works for you to work on the Sabbath day. That would be unlawful, right? But to go out and do something that benefits you, right? That's why in General Muhammad got a breakdown online where a young brother called and he said that he quoted the scripture where it says, "Drink no longer wine." Anybody see that? Did you see that? And what General Muhammad brought out is the spirit of the law. Is what most people that are so, robotic don't understand, right? The spirit of the law is that you don't work a man, to his finger, get down to the bone. That's what they did to us. That was unconstitutional as far as the Lord is concerned, in terms of what happened to us when we was in our slavery, right? So the spirit of the law would have you save a man and give a man a day off to do the things that please him personally, right? Because you enter into some of these contracts, and that man that's making that money, like in the slavery that I have right now, if that goddamn bastard could work me every day of the week, he would. Right. Because every day I'm there, everything runs smoothly, and he's making money without hitch. If he could, I'd be there 7 days a week. So the Sabbath was instituted for some of us that are. It ain't nothing wrong with the pursuit of money and capital, right? But when it hurts your brother, when it hurts the people that you employ, it becomes a sin. You become just a greedy bastard. Go ahead, young man.
I have a follow-up question on that.
Okay, give me 1 second with this real quick, right? So the Lord put in there, like even he rested on the seventh day from all his work. You know what I'm saying? And he put that in there for a man to have, a day off, man. At least one damn day off where he can go shop for whatever he want to shop for, run a track, lift some weights, you know what I'm saying? Cook, like some of us cooks, you know what I mean? We want to cook a specialty meal, like I was just telling the brother right here. Some of them crackpots, man, that interpret the law, similar to what I believe what you're confused on, would say you can't even wipe yourself on the Sabbath. What's the difference between, what's harder, purchasing a loaf of bread or washing yourself? Define it. You do more work washing yourself. So based on that logic, what would we do on the Sabbath day if we couldn't purchase a thing? If we couldn't buy a loaf of bread, what else couldn't we be able to do? If a loaf of bread is considered servile work, certainly, wiping yourself, you got to hold it. You can't even defecate. You can't even urinate on the Sabbath. You wait until the sun go down and before you can go to the damn bathroom, man. That's crazy. So, again, read the precept. The Sabbath was made for man, not man. Man wasn't created to bow down to some goddamn day. The Lord made us over everything except him. We even over the goddamn angels. Now you telling me we got to serve a goddamn day? That makes no sense. It makes no sense for us to have to serve a day. Oh, this day is for this, so I can't even wash or purchase a loaf of bread. It's silly, man. And it's people that judge the law like that, as General Muhammad said, killed people for cooking on the Sabbath day. It's in the Bible. The Sadducees and the Pharisees will bust your head open if you cook on the Sabbath day. You couldn't pick an ear of corn, you know what I mean, and eat an ear of corn on the Sabbath day if you know, you was around the goddamn Sadducee or the Pharisee, because they will bust your head open for that. Nail you to a goddamn cross or something. So what people mess up on is the spirit of the law. Read it again. The Sabbath was not made, man was not made for the Sabbath. Salah.
And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath.
Read it again.
And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath.
So really this is a question about what? It's really a question, all of that you read was really about, you wanted to expose that it was forbidden, or that they made an oath. That's what you really read. You know, like there's certain policies that we can put in place, even in this school, that's different from any other school. Right? And if we agree not to do something, then that's our agreement. It don't mean it's the law. You know what I'm saying? It's a tradition. But sometimes those traditions, just like Christ pointed out, after so long, they become what? Kapah. Precept. Oh, the precept. After so long, those policies that you institute, even like Moses did one pertaining to divorce, that was never in the law. But guess what? It was a like an amendment that he made to allow for a bill of divorce back in that day. But guess what happened? It became the law of the land. You know what I'm saying? So your traditions can become what, Kabah?
They can become, let me read Matthew 5:3.
Okay.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 3, King James Version. So he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
So you go down further, you keep reading, you get to the point that I was making. That you write at the scripture so you understand exactly what I was saying. Your traditions become what?
They become burdens.
No, you're right there. You're right there in the exact chapter, so you understood what I was asking. Anybody want to help him out? Like everybody, you would think that based on how grandmama taught you and grandmama taught you and your mama taught you and your auntie reinforced, that you would have to do what before you eat food?
Wash your hands.
Who all in here experienced your mama and your aunties and everybody else saying, boy, go in there and wash your hands? I know I did. Then it was like the prayer came right behind it. It was almost like the two went together. That this thing right here and washing your hand was like synonymous. Almost like, damn, God told us to do this. So in my mind, until I read it, that was never a law. I mean, you got stuff on your hand, you're going to wash your hand. You know you've been, handling engine blocks or, livestock before you put your hands in your mouth. Your natural instinct is to wash. But, you might not think that you have to wash if your hand's been in your pocket all day. And you know what's in your pocket. You know what I mean? So give me the point that we were making.
For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and thy mother, and be merciful his father and mother, to let him die to death. But he said, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, he shall kill. By whatsoever thou mightest be profited by him. And honor not his father and his mother, he shall be free. Thus ye have made the name of God a non-effect by your tradition.
By what?
By your tradition.
Keep going.
Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy to say, this people draw nigh to me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips.
There you go. Go ahead.
But their hearts are far from me.
So in the minds of those that's like, I ain't gonna wipe myself on the Sabbath day. I'm not gonna defecate on the Sabbath day. I ain't cooking a meal on the Sabbath day. I ain't turning my stove on the Sabbath day. Some people won't even get on the elevator and hit the button to go up or down on the Sabbath day. Right? Just totally outside of the scope of the law. Right? Those are the people that have made the commandments of God to no effect. Because in all of this silliness, people like myself be like, man, I ain't doing all of that. That makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. The spirit of it is totally off. I have nothing to do with that right there. It's a turn off. Right? And you run people away and kill people based on your interpretation of the law, as opposed to the spirit of the law. I think it's another verse in there that really hits the point home a little bit more. If you could read on a little bit further.
But in vain they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Teach it. That's the one right there. But in vain means what? And nothing. That's right. And no effect. It means it has no effect whatsoever. In vain they do what?
Worship me.
In vain meaning they ain't really worshiping me. Thinking they worshiping me by saying, wash your hands before you eat. Or you can't cook a meal on the Sabbath day, or cleanse yourself on the Sabbath day. In the mind of the person that's saying that, they all holier than thou. They damn near the representation of God in the flesh. In that moment. You understand? So for them, read that part one more time.
But in vain do they worship me.
But if for nothing do they worship me, because none of that stuff is actually worshiping me. It's what Christ is saying. Keep going. Teaching for doctrine, meaning you're teaching this thing as if it is the doctrine of the Lord. Teaching for doctrine that you can't cook on the Sabbath day. Teaching for doctrine that you can't pluck an ear of corn on the Sabbath day. Teaching for doctrine that you can't wash yourself on the Sabbath day. That you can't work out on the Sabbath day. That you can't make love on the Sabbath day. Keep reading.
Teaching for doctrine the commandments of men.
The commandments of men tell you can't do all of those things, but go ahead.
And he called the multitude and said to them, hear and understand.
Hear this. Everybody that believes you cannot cook on the Sabbath day, or touch an elevator button on the Sabbath day, or even, believe it or not, right, and I don't really want to put this in the same category, but we living in hell right now, and all of our bills are behind. I get a little overtime occasionally, because that overtime money helped me to get out of debt, because I'm always in debt, just like every other black man in America that's a goddamn slave. So I might work a little overtime so I don't get kicked out of my house next week, or I don't lose my vehicles, etc. And the rest of us in the same boat. So it's the spirit of the law that needs to come into account, as opposed to this hard line approach. You know what I mean? Can't cook, can't wash, can't scrub yourself. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'd go crazy if I couldn't cleanse myself, man, on the Sabbath day. That'd be the worst thing ever for, you know, a big old rusty brother like myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't walk from here to there without a sweat coming. And if a brother like me couldn't wash, I know you could attest to that. Man, I don't know if I could do that thing. I got to walk around like the Africans, smell like a butt scratcher or something. Keep going, please.
Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man.
And what he's saying right here, and I often go to this, I love this breakdown right here, is what he's saying is that stuff that you spewing out your mouth that I can't cook on the Sabbath, I can't eat or wash on the Sabbath, that thing right there is defiling you. Right? It's disconnecting you from the truth. Right? It ain't a problem with us hearing it, right? Because, you know, it goes in, and if it doesn't apply, you just get rid of it. But if you start to apply these things, next thing you know, you scatter in the flock. You telling brothers they can't cleanse themselves, you know what I mean, or hug their wife, or hit an elevator button. You sound silly and stupid. And you scatter the flock as opposed to bringing people to God. Right? Last verse, and I'm going to go to you, young man.
Then came his disciples and said to him, Knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard his saying?
Man, yeah, the fake Jews, man. But these Pharisees, believe it or not, were black men. We were black, Hispanic, Native Indian men. Offended that we wasn't, following their narrative. That Christ came to set the record straight. They was offended by him. All right, keep going.
Well, he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted shall be.
Everything that the Lord did not make a custom for us, a tradition, a law for us, all of that is going to be revealed through Christ. We're revealing it right now. As I said in our introduction to baptism, Cedric Bourchier, who God loves, who blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are, man. All of those things, man, we setting the record straight on in the Israelite School of UPK. And it is contrary to what it is the opposite of what you've been taught in the earth. Read that part one more time. That's important.
But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted.
Right, he's referring to it as a plant, because guess what happens? It starts with you saying you can't cook on the Sabbath day. And then it grows to you can't wash on the Sabbath day. Then it grows to you can't hug your woman on the Sabbath day. And then you can't hit an elevator button on the Sabbath day. You're about to get evicted tomorrow if you don't go to work and make this money. You can't even go to work to make this money if your ass is in the mud on the Sabbath day. That's where this morphs to, right? Read it one more time.
Well, he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted.
Every plant is going to grow that the Lord didn't plant, but guess what? We're going to cut it down. Every plant, read it one more time, Slocky.
Every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted shall be rooted up.
Shall be rooted up. And the root, and listen, man, you got to listen to the words that the Bible is using. Think about you go out there and you grab a hunk of weeds and you pull it and they break at the shaft. What you know going to happen tomorrow? What you say, Brock? It's going to grow back. That's why it's saying it must be rooted up. That's what we doing in the Israelite School of UPK. We going at it at the roots, man. They call it it's a micro. It's a word that means it's micro something. Meaning we down there in the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? In the root of the damn misunderstanding, and we giving you the correct understanding. You see what I'm saying? Every what? One more time.
Every plant which my heavenly Father.
Everything that they've planted in your mind that pertains to the Sabbath day, the Bible, who God's chosen people is. Everything that they've planted in your mind, that mark of the beast, it's our jobs in this room. And y'all my partners in here. It's our job, we partners in here, to go out there and correct the earth on what the Most High intended. You understand that? That's our oath together. We've made an oath in this class as partners, right, in this school as partners, to go out there and teach our mamas, our brothers, and everybody that we come in contact with the truth of the Bible. We're gonna get it from the root and dig it up and solve the problems in Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people's lives with the scriptures of the Bible. All right? Keep going, Capone.
Shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind.
And those people, man, that just want to lead the blind and just stay blind, because they profit to be blind and lead the blind. The Most High said what? Christ said what?
Let them alone.
Go ahead.
They be blind leaders of the blind.
Just leave them alone, man. Let them go ahead and do their thing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go after that brother and that sister, man, that can be cleansed. We can brainwash. That's who our audience is right there. That's right. Anything else? All right, so we straight on I believe your original verse was.
Nehemiah 10:31.
Okay. All right. Do we need to go back there? All right. No sign problem. What's the any other questions in the shop? Oh, Slocky. No, the young. Go ahead.
Slocky, my question was if a person in the school were to open up a restaurant or whatever, would the restaurant have to be closed on Saturday?
Oh, hell no. Why would you close it on Saturday?
Because it's Saturday.
Oh, you're saying, okay, so serve all work? I would say close that restaurant on Saturday, yes. But again, and don't think I'm advocating just arbitrarily denouncing the Sabbath day as a day that we should observe. I'm not saying that. But if I was to open up a restaurant, you know what I know I got? $1 million worth of debt. And that if I, like one of the more popular days of the year, of the week is Saturday. People tend to go out. If I was to close down on that day, chances are that I would lose my business. And then once you go into a business like that, because, Dwight-Man is such a goddamn devil, he's looking for you to mess up as soon as you can so he can take all your down payment and your building back from you and your business. So what I would be is I would make sure that prior to purchasing that business that it was a business that I could do that was more cleaner than any other, anything. Meaning like, I wouldn't have to, stretch the cord, you know what I'm saying, in terms of operating on the Sabbath day. It would be something that I could, take a day off of, like the Sabbath day. But again, typically when you open up a business, especially as a black person, you got gobs of debt. And they threaten to take your livelihood away from you and all your collateral and everything else. So I would argue that it is lawful to get yourself out of debt. Now, if you're sitting on easy street, you know what I'm saying, you ain't worried about money, that one day ain't gonna cause you to go, to lose all your livelihood and your business, I would say I would approve you to, to work on the Sabbath day.
So is it unlawful to have like Israelites?
I wouldn't approve you to, I believe I'm answering your question right now, force brothers and sisters to work that said that they wanted that day off to observe the Sabbath. You take your ass in there and work. If and everybody else that wanted the day off, I would give it to them. You good on that? Go ahead, sister.
So following up on that, so if you have like people who are not Hebrews, like you can still sustain your business if you hire non-Hebrews.
Well, no, you everybody is gonna have to follow the law, not just us. We gonna make sure that they ain't eating pork. You know how they search us for a little weed in the trunk? I'm gonna be searching cars. You got any pork on you? You got any shrimp, crab, or lobster? That's gonna be my I'm searching your ass down for pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You know what I'm saying? Those things that you thought was lawful, but the Lord said was unlawful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how that's gonna go down. Go ahead, Rock y'all. Were you done something?
Listen, I got a question. When is the real New Year's? For like spiritual.
The New Year?
Yeah.
The New Year is our Passover. We just celebrated the New Year. The spring, think about this right here. The winter signifies the what?
The winter?
What does everything do in the wintertime?
Dead.
It dies, right? And then what does everything do in the spring? Hence spring.
Right.
Right. So that would be the New Year. The New Year is the beginning of the process, not the end of it, like they got. Death is the New Year for the white man. You know what I'm saying? That's his New Year. The celebration of everything dead. He's hoping to have a place some goddamn world when he's dead. You know what I'm saying? So the Passover is the New Year. Go ahead.
Oh, one more question, sir. They said, is the Torah done away with?
The Torah? Is the Bible done away with? So the Torah is what? What is the Torah? Anybody know? Look up in the dictionary so everybody understands what it says. What is the Torah? Come on. You got it? Dictionary? Go ahead. Let's get the biblical definition of Torah. Or the Compact Bible Dictionary, any one of them you want to go to.
The Torah is the compilation of the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible.
Read it again.
The Torah is the compilation of the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible.
Deuteronomy done away with? Genesis? Hell no. first 5 books. Those are the books that Moses was given. Prophets came after, then Christ. Go ahead.
But that really got me baffled in. Because I know some Israelites that
When they say the Torah, you know what they're really referring to? They talking about the law. It's the law because the first books pertain to the old covenant. The first 5 books of the old covenant, right? So what they're saying is, and how do you cut? You're an officer. You passed your officer test. How do you slice that to pieces? How do you kill that? Because generally the people that say the Torah or the old law is done away with are who?
Are the Israelites?
Nope, Christians.
Right.
Generally Christians say that. And that's a very Christian narrative because the white man first of all, don't want you to read Deuteronomy at all. He do not want you to read that the Lord prophesied that his people will be put on cargo slave ship, driven to a totally different land, and that land that they were on they would never see again, and then they would be sold to their who? Enemy. They never want you to read that and then combine it with Luke 1:68. Ooh, that's a killer combination right there. But go ahead, Slaki. Yeah, how would you cut the notion that the law is done away with? Yes, you do. And listen, yeah, what you need your officer. I want to say you need a boot, right? Because you should know where to go to off instincts. You should know directly. I see you, young man. You see that young man right there? He want to answer that question bad. So if someone says the law is done away with, which is what they said when they said Torah is done away with, what should you instinctively go to? What should pop up in your mind? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I definitely don't want to. I ain't put nobody on front. But the reason why we get lax. Go ahead. There you go. Who gave it? Somebody gave you that? Who gave you that? Somebody text you that, man. Who just text you that, man? I see somebody text you that. Okay, there you go. Give him a hand. That's on the opposite desk. That's on the opposite desk. So Matthew 5:17 says what? And why are the first couple words of that precept in there? Why did he need to say that? You got it?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Why did he say that, young man?
Because we knew that our oppressor was going to try to whitewash and say that the law was done away with.
Yeah, that too, but more importantly, Kapan, I guess that have a little bit to do with it too, but the main reason, Mashak, he said, think not that I am come to destroy the law, was what?
Because the law is our, the law is the reason we can become wise.
I see y'all don't watch a lot of General Muhammad, Commander General Muhammad. You got something you want to add? Because that's what they had begun to do. They thought the law was done away with, that they didn't have to obey the law anymore. That's what the people have begun to do, is to believe that the law was unnecessary, that you didn't have to do it. That's that old thing, similar to what the Christians are doing right now. Right? So how do you destroy it? With Christ. Then also, hold on, let me give you some more precepts. So give me 2nd Ezra 7 and 11. Write this down pertaining to the laws done away with. In your precept book, this is going to be under the laws done away with.
All right, so you said second Ezra 6 and 7?
No, 7 and 11, please.
Oh, right. Come on, sorry. Second Ezra chapter 7 and verse 11. Because for their sake I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes.
When Adam did what?
Transgressed my statutes.
So was the law around since Adam? Read it again. You just read the law was in effect since Adam.
Because
y'all should put this in your precept book under the law since Adam. All right? That the law has been around since Adam. All right? Put that in your precept book. The law has existed since Adam. All right? Read 2 Ezra 7 and 11. Second Ezra 7 and 11. I mean, sorry. Read it again. 2 Ezra 7 and 11. Somebody get Genesis 2 and 7. Somebody else get Ezekiel 37 and read verses 5 to 6.
Like what was that?
Ezekiel 37, verse 5 through 6. Which one you got? Give me that.
Come on. Genesis 2 and 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
What is the breath of life? Anybody know? Young man.
The truth.
The law. The law. We just read that Adam had the law. The Lord breathed into him the understanding of what he needed to do in order to live. Gave him the breath of life, which is how to govern yourself, what not to eat. Think about a baby, man. You a baby born, and you put that baby on the floor right now. She crawling. All of her little stuff that she dropped on the floor, she gonna eat it off the floor. You know what I'm saying? She gonna eat a diaper. She gonna eat every damn thing, disgusting thing in the earth. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't take my eyes off you, little baby. So Adam needed instructions on how and what to eat, what not to eat, who to associate with, what not to hollow, what to hollow, etc. Everything is governed by law. Every single thing. And certainly, we are. And Adam was, right? Ezekiel, what was the original question, Salaka? Is the Torah done away with? Right, so I just want to give you the precepts to prove that. I'm going to give you one. Read Baruch 4 and verse 1. Somebody else go to Deuteronomy 30 and 15. Grab that.
This is Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever.
The law that what?
The law that endureth forever.
No, just for a couple months.
Forever.
A couple thousand years.
Forever.
Just until Christ come.
Forever.
Till Christ die.
Forever.
The law that endureth for what?
Forever.
That's Baruch 4 and 1. All right, I'm going to give you another one, but you got to precept it with Zephaniah. Give me Deuteronomy 30 and 15. Somebody else grab Zephaniah 2 and 1 through 3, I believe. Who got Deuteronomy 30 and 15?
Deuteronomy 30 and 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply.
That thou mayest what?
Live and multiply.
That thou mayest what?
Live and multiply.
That thou mayest live. You understand? The law is the only thing that keeps you living. You go out here and you will, like, there's certain laws that we know to honor. Like you see that damn cobra, that's a law right there. That cobra telling you, you stick your hand right here or your foot, I'm gonna bite you and you're gonna die. We know to avoid, we know to obey that law, don't we? Right. All the other laws are just like that. You violate them, you get bit by a poisonous snake. It's the same thing. The law of you eat poison is just as important as the law not to serve another god, or you know what I mean, to have sex with a heathen. They're the same thing. They all bring about the same consequence, which is what? Who knows? The wages of sin is what, Capon?
Yeah.
It's death, man. They all just like that cobra. Violate the law, you get bit by a cobra and die. I don't know if y'all understand. Most High in Christ. All right, go to Zephaniah 2:1. Somebody, and then hold that Deuteronomy 30 and 15. You can precept these two together, right? Read Zephaniah 2:1 through 3 first.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce.
Before you run out of time, is what he's saying. He's saying, in all of that you just read, man, gather yourselves together, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people, before you don't have the opportunity to. That's what he just said in all the things that you just read. Keep going.
Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Keep going.
Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth.
Sloppy, go on. My bad. The precept that I want is it's not that one. It's the one where, oh my God, I can't believe it. This happened. Or the one where he said, because thou, I will also forget your children. That's in there. Which one is that? No. He said, because thou have forgotten the law, I will also forget thy children. Come on, y'all. That's what I want. Hosea 4 and 6. Slide. Give me that. These are two. You want to pair Deuteronomy 30 and 15 with Hosea 4 and 6. Give me Hosea 4 and 6 first.
Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Hosea is in what? The Old or New Testament? Go ahead.
Like, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law.
Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law, go ahead.
Forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Keep going.
As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I change their glory into shame.
So you could precept this one right here, Hosea 4 and 6 with Deuteronomy 30 and 15. We'll read it again, Hosea 4 and 6. I'm going to show you right where you put the two together.
Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
Now go to Deuteronomy 30 and 15.
Like it's Deuteronomy 30 and 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good.
I have set before thee this day what?
Life and good.
Go ahead.
And death and evil. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whether thou goest to possess it. Continue?
No, you good. Go ahead, Brock, y'all.
Sir, if I could, it says judgment. Can we judge, like, our other brothers, I think that they would be incorrect?
You mean like where people say you can't judge me, don't judge me?
Yeah, like, but you can, correct?
Well, I'm asking you a question. I'm just trying to get the spirit of what you're saying, right? Are you saying like, well, I've heard my whole life, you can't judge me. You know what I'm saying? What's that Christian phrase?
Only God can judge you.
There you go, right there. Only God can judge. That's the one, right? But is that true? Is the Most High the only judge? And do you have any precepts? Nathan.
Shall be judged.
That's a good one right there. The saints, we gonna even judge the angels, man. That's in the Bible, right? So what does it mean, like when they say, what are Christians getting confused when they say only God can judge me? Who knows? Kappa.
Pretty much, final judgment.
Is there a Bible phrase besides that one that they go to? You know? Go ahead.
I don't know exactly, but I know one person, they say that they compared to a girl who was a whore, and then they were throwing stones at her, and they were like, whore, you to judge.
Let's go there real quick. That's in Matthew. That's when Christ caught, that's when the Sadducees and the Pharisees brought the sister to Christ, who was caught in the very act of adultery. Meaning, they walked in and she was doing the nasty with somebody that wasn't her husband. And Christ, well, maybe we could surmise it. And Christ, when they brought her, Christ showed mercy. Because technically, who was the only one that could have beat her head in? It was Christ. Because everybody else was in the midst of what? Sin themselves. One of them probably was the one that was having sex with her. That's how you know that she was, adulterous, right? But that's sort of different, right, than the phrase "only God can judge me." Only God can judge me came from the works of the law being done away with. And why would the works of the law be done away with? It's like you have to understand why the works of the law would be silly at this point. Meaning to go kill a turtle dove to atone for a sin, or have some unblemished lamb offering to the Lord. Why would that be unlawful? Anybody know? Kappa.
Because Christ is our sacrifice now.
There you go. And to kill a goddamn goat or something would be like a slap in the face to what Christ went through. Think about that. Oh, you saying your lamb is this lamb? It wasn't a brother? So that would be like a slap in the face, offense to Christ. So that part of the law is done away with. We ain't dragging people out to the city court and busting their head open no more. Because what Christ brought was a who knows what I'm thinking. What did Christ bring? Christians use it all the time.
Sir, I was gonna say Christ brought the spirit of the law.
He did do that, but he brought Elijah. He brought what else? Christians use it all the time to cover up their filth. It's pertaining to the blood of Jesus. There you go, give it back. Right? They say I'm saved by grace all the time, right? But grace is just a what? Dispensation of time. It's a period where I came and I saved you from all of the hardships of the law. Meaning, we ain't gonna kill you for this particular period of time, right? But we certainly encourage you to abide by the law, right? But we're not going to kill you for violating the law. We're giving you a dispensation of time, a grace period, if you will, right? But upon my return, I'm getting bloody, is what Christ said in the Bible. Anybody that's in violation of the law is subject to the consequences of violating the law, which is death on the spot. All right? But let's digress a little bit. So, I believe the question is the confusion between me saying that's a sin you committed, right? You should eat that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. And what they don't understand real judgment is. Real judgment, we used to break it down like this. You got in a courtroom, you got a judge, you got a defense attorney, you got a prosecutor, and you got a defendant. Who is the only person in that room capable of rendering a judgment? The judge. What does the prosecutor do? Present the case against the alleged defendant, right? So as a prosecutor, which is what we are, I'm saying, bro, listen, you just bought all of the damn shrimp. And you got corn in the basket and scallops and sausage. You about to go do a goddamn luau some damn way. And you know that's a violation of the law. You know you can't eat all of those disgusting things. Oh, but my wife and my kids, we do this. I ain't gonna eat it, I'm just cooking it for everybody. So my judgment is what at that point? You in violation of the law. You know, you just did something just totally, you're engaging in a thing that you know is a violation of the law. What's the difference between me pointing that out to him and the judge saying you got 25 to life? Barack, yeah. Okay, well you didn't. You're the perfect man to answer the question. This is your question, right? What, like we named the people in the courtroom, right? Who is the one that would render a sentence if you found guilty? Huh? The judge. The judge is going to say, you're guilty and I sentence you to life in prison. Right? It's not going to be the person, the prosecutor, which is what we represent. Me and you don't represent the power to kill anybody right now. We represent the people. We represent the people that letting everybody know the violations of the law. Right. We're not judging. Judgment is when you say, "I found you guilty, and you got to serve 25 years in the penitentiary." That's a judgment. All right. So only God can judge me. I think that's in the simplest form. That could be correct, because we not. But if you call judgment me saying, "I see you eat that goddamn pork, you're in violation of the law, and the wages of sin is death." If you call that judgment, then I'm your judge, right? But if you really weigh what a prosecutor is, a defense attorney, and the judge is, like, I don't know how many of y'all been in councils, but in councils you have the higher representation of our organization presiding over the matter. Y'all two go to council, you say the brother stepped on my foot and didn't apologize. Instead of apologizing, they said, "Man, fuck your foot," right? Then you're gonna have the generals hear that matter and render a what? A verdict. But what you're gonna do as a priest is paint the picture why this brother is in violation of the law. That's not you judging him. That's you just painting the picture, just like you would do anybody on the street, any black, Hispanic, any woman that's engaging in abortion or whatever else the hell she out there doing and he out there doing. You just gonna tell them, "Bro, that's wrong. The Lord don't like that." That's not necessarily judgment. That's not judgment, because I'm not putting a sentence to that. I'm just saying the Lord sees that and He's going to judge you and sentence you accordingly. Everybody understand? All right. Any other questions on that one? No. All right. Most time. Any other questions, Michelle? Sharp. Any other questions, huh? You gotta take the earpiece off so you can hear me. Any other questions?
Isaiah 30, 1
Okay.
and 2. Can this scripture be used as a precept speaking to the Israelites following religion and man-made philosophy?
Read it.
Isaiah 30, verses 1 and 2.
Okay.
Anybody pull it?
Isaiah chapter 30, verses 1 and verse 2. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel but not of me.
Hold on, stop. Can that precept be used to what?
That this scripture be used as precept for speaking to Israelites following religion and other man-made philosophy.
God, read it again. Y'all, make sure you get that. Come, go ahead, though. I'm good. Go ahead, read it again.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover my covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Most high Christ. Yep.
That walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
I would say definitely you could use that precept. You know what I mean? Because the things that, like the Bible says, nothing new under the sun. The things that we do now. Bashar, come here for a second, hey, bro. The things that we do now are the things that we've always done. Right? We've always done these things. We've always done those things. Right? So, of course, that's an excellent precept, you know, to prove that point right there. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Please.
This pertains to the scripture, honor thy mother and thy father. Is there any scripture that would combat that? Like, for instance, my mother, she likes to use that as a way to say, well, this is why you should celebrate my birthday and Mother's Day. You need to honor your mother and your father. Is there anything?
Oh, hell yeah.
In the scripture?
Yes. Give me the counter, her saying that whatever I say for you to do trumps everything else, right? Give me, I think it's in Matthew where he says, you love mama, sister, brother, cousin, auntie more than me. Give me that scripture right there. Let me get the precept first that I just asked for, then I'll let you in. So no, your mama that's women worship. She wants you to worship her like, you know, like she's a goddamn god or something over the Most High.
Right.
Which is disgusting as hell. What you got to get through to her is that the Lord don't want me to do anything for you that's in a violation of the law. Right. I ain't celebrating another god just to honor you. Are you out your goddamn mind, mama?
Right.
You want me to bow down to another god to please you? Well, you gotta know what to hit her upside the head with. I'm about to give it to you right now. Give me that precept if you got it.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 37. He that loves his father or mother more than me.
Read it again.
He that loves his father or mother more than
and
me.
how do show me? Give me this precept where it says, if you love me, do what? 1 John 1 and 3, or 3 and 1? One of them. If you love me, do what?
Keep my commandments.
And one of the Lord's commandments is for you not to do what? Bow down to other gods. So if you understand the precept I'm bringing up and how to put it all together, you want to show your mother that you are not supposed to do anything in the earth, period, that violates your ordinance, your commitment to the Lord, your covenant to the Lord, to please anybody. There's plenty of men and women worshipers in the earth. There's men that worship their mamas and their fathers. Right? I ain't doing that to appease you on the day that you consider your day. Because the Lord told me not to follow those traditions. And here's the precept. Read it for me again.
He that loves his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
Now give me 1 John 1 and, 3 and 1? What is it? If ye love me, that's the one I want. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
Yeah, First John 2.
First John 2 and 3, read that one.
First John 2 and 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that said, I know him, and keep not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
That's a good one, but that's not the one I asked for. If ye love me, that's the one I want. That's on the opposite test. 1 John, is it 4 and 3? Y'all gotta be a little bit more point on these precepts out there.
John 14 and 15.
John 14 and 15?
John.
Give it to me.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
Read it again.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
Read it again.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
If you love me, keep my commandments. So the Lord is saying, if you love me, keep my commandments. But your mama is saying, if you love her, do what? Keep her commandments over the commandments of God. That's what she's really saying. Skip that Bible that you all off into. And praise me and worship me on Mother's Day. That's what your mama's saying to you on the Thunder War.
Right, that's what she always used to say. She said it to me the other day.
All right, that would be what I would give her. The precepts on, the precepts on loving your family members more than you love obeying the Lord. Mashal.
Sometimes. We also use Matthew 12, 48.
Please.
Matthew 12, chapter 48. Matthew chapter 12, verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother? And who are my brothers? He stretched forth his hand towards the disciples and said, behold, my mother.
No, you can't use that, because the brother he asked a specific question. What precepts can he use when his mother says that it's Mother's Day? Honoring thy mother is honoring Mother's Day. He want to know what precepts can he use to counter that, right? Mother's Day is a tradition of, I believe, the Romans or some wicked heathens, whoever the hell it was. The Romans is certainly not in the Bible. But honoring thy mother is in the Bible. But Mother's Day is not. She is trying to morph Mother's Day with the Bible precepts that says, honor thy mother, right? How can you honor your mother if you're in violation of the law? You're doing a dishonor to her by violating the law. That is not honoring your mother, violating the law of God. All right? When God said, anybody that loves his mother or father more than me is not worthy of me. Right? I paraphrase that. And also, what precept did we just bring out? If you love me, keep my commandments. How could you be keeping the commandments of God if you honor your Mother's Day? So you just gotta in your own way break that down to her for her to understand. What mother first, I think the big misconception or the disconnect is they just think these days are just a day. It's a day in American life that Americans came up with to honor father and mother. They don't know that these are traditions pulled from ancient societies that the Lord spoke against thousands of years ago. We're so ignorant as a people. We don't have knowledge we just read. We don't have the knowledge of the Bible, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of the prophets. We believe that the Torah is done away with. All the places where he tells us not to do this is done away with. That's mom's problem. So it's going to be difficult. I spoke to the woman. She's difficult. It's going to be difficult trying to get through to her that that the things that make her feel good in this earth are not always associated with the Most High. And more often, the better you feel about engaging in this society, and the thing that brings you some sort of happiness is always against the Lord. More often, the more you smiling at a party, the more you're in violation of the Lord's ordinance. That's why it's so important to wash the inside, to be born again, so that the things that you can enjoy, like just being in this room is enjoyable for me. Going to camp, Passover. You know what I'm saying? We ain't, ain't nobody twerking in that joint. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still good. So you gotta be cleansed from all of that filth that make you happy in order for you to embrace the truth. It's gonna be difficult with mom. The scripture said you can't be a prophet in your own home. Go ahead, Daryl.
Read 34, 35.
Which one?
Matthew 10.
Please, 34, 35.
Think not that I have come to send peace on earth.
God.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
That's an excellent one to put in there too. Go ahead.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against his mother, and a daughter-in-law against his mother-in-law.
Keep going.
The man foes shall be they of his own household.
Your foes, man, shall be what?
They of his own household.
That's what you experiencing that, because guess what your mama wants to do? She don't want to believe you. She want to go on and live her happy life, control the things that she can control, including you and all, whoever else is in her life, right? And be praised in this earth. Why the hell you ain't bowing down to her on Mother's Day?
Right.
Didn't I make you, boy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what moms is, And I haven't seen a lot of brothers bring their mamas into the truth. There's some hell of a captains and generals in here, and they can't stand their mamas. So, per their own, admission, they can't stand it at the top of our organization because they are filthy. And listen, man, the more you love her, the more you don't love this thing in here. I promise you that. A lot of y'all struggling is because you love things outside of this institution. You're too in love outside of here. That's the reason why y'all struggle so much. That's a reflection of how you're studying, your camp speaking, how much zeal you have. It's because Matthew 6 and 24, you're constantly being stretched and pulled to the other side. You know what I mean? Despite what you're seeing every week with us breaking down scriptures and doing classes and going to different functions all over the goddamn earth, it still ain't enough to contend with the love of a mama. Oh my God. I hurt my mama's feelings. My mama called me and asked me to come through for goddamn Thanksgiving. And the way she said it, I've never heard her speak so sweet. And she getting older too. You know what I mean? I felt like I just do evil to my own dear mama. And they do it to you like that, man. Be careful about the mamas, man. They hit you like you think your woman got a strong hold on you. That mama is powerful as well. All right. Any other questions? Go ahead, Michelle.
Question: can abortion be found in the Bible?
Oh, you goddamn right. Which leads up to my topic, man. What time we got? Too soon to start it?
6:33.
Oh no, we absolutely on point. All right, let's show you. Everybody know that abortion is a hot topic right now in the earth, right? And I'm going to show you a couple reasons why the white man wants to now all of a sudden do away with abortion. Let's get those precepts that I gave you earlier, Michelle. Let's start off with let's go with go to Jeremiah. Let's go to say again.
Psalms. We had one number 1.
Okay, give me what is it? Psalms 10.
Come.
All right, give me that one. I might want Jeremiah first though. Give me Psalms first. Let's see.
Will be Psalms 10 and 2.
Everybody's going to do it right.
All right.
I got it, sir. Psalms 10 and 2.
Please.
The wicked in
Read Psalms 10, Start at verse 1. Matter of fact, let's bag up and kind of answer that question. Go to Exodus 1, read verse 8, and let's go through 8 through 18. And let's show you why abortion is so important in America right now, or was so important before the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which is still important. You know what I mean? Don't think that they're gonna stop abortion and where you niggas do it. They're gonna always make sure you Negroes got access to abortion. Trust me. What they're really trying to do is stop white folks from having abortions.
That's right.
All right? That's the guts of the whole scenario. Let's go with Exodus first of all, chapter 1, verse 8. Let's read that first. Let's zip through these. I want to.
Exodus 1 and 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt.
Right, so prior to this, Joseph was bosom buddies with the king, and the children of Israel were allowed to do their own thing and prosper in the land of Egypt. They made love and had plenty of babies and became an exceeding multitude. Right, keep going. But then the king, the Pharaoh that they were up under, died. Keep going.
Which knew not Joseph.
And he didn't know the man that made the way for the rest of the Israelites. He didn't know him. And go ahead.
And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel.
For fear, he created a council amongst his people and said what?
Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
We should be afraid. Because look how mighty these people. Look at these men around here, man. The brothers working. And they got an opportunity to get a little extra on it. They out there cut up and lifting every goddamn thing. Look, they more and mightier than us, this king feared. Keep going.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
This council, let's deal wisely with them. Go ahead.
Lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
Now I'm gonna tell you something. That's legitimate as far as I'm concerned. Because they ain't gonna forget all the police brutality.
Right.
They ain't gonna forget all of the discrimination, man, and the slavery. I ain't forgetting that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These niggas ain't forgetting about that, man. If I was in power, you got a price to goddamn pay. You're certainly right in being afraid. Let me behind. Listen. Give me any inkling of power over them, and they out of there. They out the box. So he corrected his fear. Because I remember the countless times you pulling me over, man. I was just driving down the goddamn street, right? Or walking down the street dribbling the basketball, and I got to run from the big four and get stomped out around the corner. Pockets ran because they think I'm a goddamn drug dealer. I can't even go to the rec center. They ain't gonna forget about that, man. So you goddamn right. You should be afraid. Right. You should be afraid that we're gonna become more and mightier than your ass and do everything in your power to stop me from getting in control. You goddamn right. That's a legitimate fear. Go ahead.
So you saying that's a fear that our oppressor has right now?
You goddamn right. He got that fear. He better have it. Why you think all of these laws, man, you know, are designed to make you kill your baby? You know what I'm saying? Prevent you from having children. Like the average person, you know what I mean? You pulling out. You got condoms, birth control, vasectomies, all kind of stuff. The average Black, Hispanic, Native Indian person do not want to have children, man, because of what we've experienced. So based on what Pharaoh is talking, he got damn right. You better be afraid of white men. You better be afraid, Sluggy, Daryala. Everybody, they better be afraid of us. And you better do whatever you can to prevent me from being in power. I don't blame you. I would do the same damn thing. If I knew you was gonna get back, I got kids that inherited all of your wealth, but you're gonna take it from them and put them in slavery, you goddamn right you better institute some policies that's gonna prevent me from making it come up as quickly as I can. Keep going.
They join also unto our enemies and fight against us. And so get them up out of the land.
We're gonna join with the Mexicans. We're gonna join with the Benjamites, man, the Jamaicans. We're gonna join with the Haitians, man. You know what I'm saying? to Guatemala, to Panama, to everybody, man, in the 12 tribes, man. We're going to join with them and become an exceeding multitude. And then we're going to look at the white man and say, what now? Under Christ. That's coming. Keep going.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
So in order, like the Bible said, the devil know that he got a little time. He know that eventually we're going to take over. And everything that I can imagine, we're going to do to his ass. Because the Lord said, pay him back double upon double. We're doing all of that. We're going to let all of that gruesome shit happen to them just as they done it to me. Like I said, I'm pulling over every goddamn cracker that I see, and I'm searching his car for pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. He better not have pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. He better not have a pizza with a pepperoni smell on it. Because I'm pulling him out of his car, I'm patting him down for pizza and shrimp. Hey, he better not have a dried up pepperoni in that goddamn car. When I get, when we get in power. You feel me? Because what he done, we got to give him that taste back, man. We ain't gonna forget about that, man. Keep going.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
We built, look at these treasured cities, man. We can't even occupy now, man. I travel across the country, Daryala, and man, I'm like, damn, Detroit is the worst city on the face of in the whole union. I thought we all lived like this in Detroit. I mean, I think there's a couple of St. Louis, Baltimore, that's like Detroit, but I go to like, other places, man. I'm like, God damn, this ain't your, this the ghetto? This your burial? It's like, not saying that, all black people live in good, but compared to how we living in Detroit, man, good night, man. Lucky. And we built treasured cities. You know what I mean? Benjamin Banneker, man, the Almanac, and the construction of Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? The railroad system, and even GPS, man, niggas responsible for putting together. Right? Keep going. And they built over them taskmasters, and we built treasure cities behind these taskmasters. Go ahead.
Pithom and Ramesses.
Mm-hmm.
Continue, sir?
Please. Talking about cities. Go ahead.
Now these are the names of the children of Israel.
They didn't name all of us, man. From Reuben all the way down to, who's the last name mentioned? All the 12 tribes is mentioned. These are the names that did what? You ain't got to read them because we all know the 12 tribes. Jump down to the very next sentence after the 12 tribes are read off.
And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty.
Man, we were strong people, man, at this time. Right? We were a very strong people. And the people that were over us looked at us and was like, damn, they strong as hell. Like now, you get them brothers off that football field, that basketball court, and out that penitentiary. You get them out that penitentiary, man. I'm telling you. You think niggas is all cold on the basketball court. It's some exceptional brothers. And I ain't talking about just on their physical strength. I'm talking about intelligent brothers. Intelligent brothers that teach themselves art. Yeah, that brain of theirs, my brother's got it's a special thing about a brother when you put him in a cell where he's, in his own devices. Now, he can be wicked as hell, but he can also produce some things that he never thought he was capable of in that solitary, condition.
Right. I ran up. I'm supposed to be down.
Please, go ahead.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
And like what you got going on, man. Like right now, they coming up with so many reasons for you to kill your baby. Yet still, I see a little baby right there and one on the way. Right. You've been back in school for 18 months. You got 2 babies right now. This baby being born everywhere, man. all over Israel. I can't look at every time I look at the Facebook, it's some twins or something. They trying to stop us from having babies, but yet we still having babies. They can't stop it. Right. They can't stop it. They ain't gonna stop us, man. The only reason why we ever had any abortions is because in our mind, right, that mark of the beast set in, and we thought it would be better for us to kill a baby in order to obtain some prosperity. It's sick as hell to say it. That's the reason why we generally kill our babies, is so that we can eat better. Which is crazy as hell, because when you have a baby, the last thing that you're thinking about doing is eating when your baby hungry. What the hell? And you don't even like that. If you ever been there, right, where somebody that you really loved was hungry, and you was hungry too, you don't even feel the hunger pain. You will shrivel up to nothing, man, and your baby be fat as hell over there. Right. It's the witchcraft that they played on the minds of black folks, man, is biblical. It's a lot. Keep reading.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
No matter what they do to us, we're gonna still have them babies, man. No matter how the economy is, right? Gas is at $10 a goddamn gallon. Right. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna have our children, man. We still gonna make love. We find comfort in getting with one another, man, in hard times, man. And babies are born. What are y'all?
So that we read this over 2,000 years ago. The tribe of Issachar right now is objected to what they call it, outgrow the Caucasian.
That's right.
America.
And listen,
and they're the most afflicted.
They the most afflicted. And you know what? Something I was going to bring out today too. That law that Trump enacted against the Issacharites, they called it something, but it was overturned today. Right, where they were legally in authority to detain any of the Issacharites and keep them in a prison on the border. That was overturned today, on the side, right? Remind me where we was at in the scripture, slide.
Exodus 1:12.
Please.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. Mm-hmm. And they were grieved because the children of Israel.
And they were what?
Grieved because the children of Israel.
And they were grieved, man. Like, think about I'm reading this because I want you to see the similarities and what's going on right now versus what happened back then. We grew and we multiplied exceedingly. What did the white boy say when he went over there, when he went and killed all of them brothers and sisters in that grocery store? He said it was a concerted effort, at least in his mind, to replace white folks with black folks. The same thing we read right here. What is it? Replacement theory. Read that again.
But they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
And the more they afflicted us, the more we multiplied and grew. And what happened in their minds? They became what?
They were grieved because of the children of Israel.
And they were grieved, man. Just like that white boy, man. They just start to go and kill up a bunch of brothers and sisters in the grocery store. And that same sentiment to kill us, right, it's the same one that pushed abortion. It's a lot. So we about to read about abortion in the Bible. Keep going, Salaki.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Go ahead.
And they made their lives bitter.
Well, think about right now, man. Inflation, cost of living, gas prices. That is an example of making your life rigorous, making it a living goddamn hell where you paying $200-300 a week to get back and forth to your job. Don't have a job where you like a truck driver or a delivery guy where you gotta cover your gas expenses. Life is hard as hell for you right now. And this is by design. There are oil fields right in Texas. There's enough oil in the reserves in America. If they opened up the reserve in America, gas would be back down to $1 a gallon. I'm telling you, there's oil reserves right here in America. You'd be surprised at how much offshore drilling that they do. American produced oil. American produced oil. Your gas prices could come down right now. Keep going.
And they made their lives better with hard bondage and mortar and in brick and in all manner of
And that mortar and brick is just, it symbolizes, you know, with inflation. Like I read a study today that the dollar, since the gold standard was done away with, has lost 97% of its value. So before Nixon instituted the did away with the gold standard, your dollar, 1 ounce of gold was represented by what? $1. Hold on, was it an ounce to a dollar? I think it was 1 ounce was $1, right?
At the time of Nixon, more than that.
An ounce of gold was how much? Look it up for me if you could. How much was an ounce of gold before? I think it was a 1-to-1 though. Maybe an ounce of gold was $100. What was the gold standard? What was the dollar to gold standard before Nixon did away with the gold standard and instituted the Federal Reserve? That's what I want to know right now. Because back in the day, a loaf of bread was a penny. You know, people like right before me said, I know that seemed like a long goddamn time ago. The bread was $2.50. $2.50. But I'm talking about in my lifetime, my mama's lifetime. Go ahead, y'all. Look at that, $35 an ounce. You know how much gold is right now to blow your socks off? $2,000 an ounce.
I thought I heard it come out real recently that the dollar can no longer, nobody is acceptable to trade their gold for the dollar anymore.
Yeah, you go pay, you give $2,000, you can get an ounce of gold. Yeah. You take it, I can buy gold right now with my dollars, right now with my phone. I can pick up my phone and buy an ounce of gold, but it's gonna cost me $2,000 and something dollars. Like $2,035. Based on what you just said, you couldn't even buy gold with money, is what you're saying. Well, that's not true. All right, let's continue on, Slaki. We'll try to get through this, I think.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
What verse is that?
Verse 14.
Same thing that's going on in America right now. We're working harder for less money. Keep going.
In mortar and in brick and in all manner of service to the field. And all their services wherein they were made and served was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shapara, and the name of the other Pua. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him.
So that's abortion right there. That is a more draconian form of abortion, where a woman got to have a baby and then you kill the baby after she done went through all of that labor. Actually, Salaki, let me digress, because Commander General Yohana came out with a video where that African had 2/3 of the baby body out of the womb. You can pull up that video right now, it's so disgusting. They probably banned it. But they video a woman having a partial birth abortion. I'm talking about the baby, everything was out the baby. He must have went in there and reached the baby and pulled the feet out first, because the head was stuck in the womb. And he took a pair of, I don't know if it was forceps or whatever the hell that is, and stuck it in the back of the baby's neck, inside of the womb, and severed the spinal cord. Killed the baby, then pulled the baby out. No. Did you find that, did you get that article that I sent you on that radio personality?
The radio personality? I got the one.
Yeah, I sent you in a text message, the radio personality. What she's doing is, she's telling her Me Too moment in regards to, That's the one I want. Give me that one right there. And then somebody else give me the percentage of women that become pregnant due to incest or rape. Give me that percentage right there. So what you see them doing is pushing an extreme case as if it's the normal abortion. The normal abortion is I got drunk at the bar and I had sex with a guy that I don't know and I got pregnant. Or me and my baby daddy not ready to have a baby. No. That's the normal abortion. It ain't incest or rape. It had nothing to do with that. That's 1% of all abortions is incest or rape. And I know a lot of sisters might, in this era of feminism and shit like that, you see a lot of sisters kind of cringing at us speaking about what they call women's rights, women reproductive rights. And it seemed like we shouldn't have a say-so in the matter, right? And in their mind, they want to dismiss us as not being capable of empathizing or sympathizing. But I certainly do. If you raped by your father or you raped by anybody and you don't want to have that baby, I don't necessarily want you to have the baby either. Not necessarily. But when I exclude myself in regard to what the Lord says, guess what kicks in? His spirit and not mine. And so I am pushing and advocating that if you don't want that baby, drop them off right here in the school. And let this be official. Anybody out there, man, that's listening to us that don't want your child, come on right now. You bring the baby right here, right now. We'll take that baby, and I guarantee you that baby will be all good. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Per Commander General Young. We got sisters all over the school right now that's going to take that baby in. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Run them kids. Don't kill no more Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian babies. That's why school UPK is on record as saying we taking them all. No matter how much of a burden or how much finances it takes, or how many of us got to rock the baby, we gonna take on that burden in this school. All right? Go ahead. Give me that. I want that article if you could, please. Video, please.
Viewers and listeners includes descriptions of sexual violence. Yes, we end today's show looking at how the Supreme Court appears set to overturn both Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey, two landmark decisions that protect U.S. abortion rights. On Monday, Politico published a leaked draft of Justice Samuel Alito's majority opinion in the case known as Dobbs versus Jackson in Women's Health. It was on the eve of the court's oral arguments in Dobbs' case in November that law professor Michelle Goodwin wrote a guest essay in the New York Times. It was headlined, "I was raped by my father and abortion saved my life."
Stop there, right.
In a minute, Professor Goodman will join us. First, I want to...
Right, stop it real quick. So the point I'm making is this right here, so I'll be clear, right? The agenda is not that incest is not particularly vile and disgusting, almost above any other goddamn crime that I can think about. Rape period. Then raping your daughter is, almost got a special type of disgusting twang to it. You know what I'm saying? Even above the disgusting nature of rape itself, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is that the norm is not this narrative, but they want to say or put in the minds of the people that are going to judge the matter, right? That this is about rape and incest. I mean, this is about rape and incest. When that accounts for a very, very small percentage of pregnancies. The bigger picture is the women that's out there promiscuous. The women that got pregnant because they didn't think they could get pregnant, they was having unprotected sex. That is the norm right there. So they put these narratives out there to put in your mind that it's about protecting a woman who have been molested or was raped or incest pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want in your mind, right? Continue, Michelle.
I do also have the article on the actual numbers of rape / incest.
Give me that one real quick, and then we'll go back to that one. All right, most time. There's a question online as well.
You're going to read this. This is from USA Today. Just 1% of women obtained an abortion because they became pregnant through rape, and less than 0.5% do so because of incest.
Now think about that. Now I tell you some astronomical numbers, right? Just in the black community, right? Black women abort. What was that number? Like 500, close to 500,000 babies a year.
Okay.
Right? Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. That's only the stats from states that report abortions. Half of the union don't even report the black women abortions. Half California and New York, the biggest states in the union, don't even report abortion, nor Illinois report abortions by ethnicity. So I'm giving you this number without the major states and cities involved in the stats. We talking about, listen, if you really want to know the truth, the number probably close to 1.5 million a year. When you add what we don't know compared to what we do know in the medium states, it's probably 1.5 million black babies alone. And I ain't talking, listen, out of 40 million black people, 1.5 million babies, it ain't even a stretch to say are aborted every goddamn year. That ain't a stretch, given the stats that we do know about from the states that do report based on ethnicity. And that number is like 400,000 babies are aborted every year on the abortion slab. I want that to sink in. And I ain't talking about all blacks. I mean, I ain't talking about Hispanics and Native Indians. I'm just talking about Judites. Judites is killing right now. Only 22 states reporting it are killing damn near 500,000 babies a year. Let that sink in, man. Half a ticket, man, a year we killing. Think about how big our army would be, man. And this is the device of the same people that looked at us and said, man, we can't let these niggas get, more and mightier than us, man. Let's deal wisely with them. So the same thing that they looked and sought to do in Egypt is what they're doing right now in America. Right? We falling for it. You got some more stats for me, Bashar? Go ahead.
Since Roe versus Wade became the law in 1973, as reported, among black women, 22 million abortions have been performed.
Again, that's only a fraction of the states that's required to report that number, so that stat is flawed. That number is much larger than that.
Because there are 22 states in the United States that do not report abortion by race. Of course, they just don't do it.
That's right.
California, New York, and Illinois are 3 of them.
You know why they do that in those big ass states? Because they don't want you to be horrified. They don't want you to say, God damn, we got to do something about this. The number is staggering, man. The number is staggering. Let's go back to the Bible real quick and read where we left off at. I got a ton of precepts that I wanted to bring out Let's get through that one real fast. Go ahead.
Back to
the Bible, then we're gonna go back to your argument.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, on which the name of one was Sephora, and the name of the other Pura.
What verse is it?
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
And he said, when you do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stool.
And the thing that always baffled me, somebody go to Matthew 5:21. What always baffled me is this right here. Because largely the majority of the black women that's committing these abortions are what? What's their religion? That's in their 10 commandments that say, thou shalt not what? That's right there, man. But they're coming up with excuses to kill the most innocent, man. Right, so Matthew 5:21 says, thou shalt not kill. All right, go to Psalms 10 and read 1 through 3 real quick. Psalms chapter 10, verse 1 through 3 real quick, I'll give. Somebody else get Job 39 and 13. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 1. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in the time of trouble? Verse 2. The wicked in his pride do persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
And this is the thing that I wanted to bring out. Like, it may not seem that the Lord is working since the Israelite school of UPK, you know what I'm saying, established itself strong in the earth like right now. But as far as what I see personally, I see the Lord absolutely working for our cause. Right? Think about that prayer that we say, man. That bring evils and curses. That goddamn prayer right there. I love that prayer. Because one of the things that we said that we wanted the Lord to attack was what? On point. Was who? Planned Parenthood. Roe v. Wade is an attack on Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood has closed down all of their shops in 90% of the country. And then what was we saying before this? We was talking about the other thing that the Lord had blessed us with from that prayer. The plagues. He opened up the internet. So many things, man, that he's done to prove to us as the priests and prophets that we doing our goddamn job. And now he's hearing us. Planned Parenthood is attacked now. You know what's next? You know what's next? Who can guess what's next? They're afraid of it now. They're preparing for it right now. You know what's next is that gay agenda. I ain't gonna jump the gun. I ain't gonna jump the gun, but I guarantee you the next law to be overturned is that same-sex marriage law. Because these things, let me give you a precept real quick. Did you finish reading Psalms 10? Who read Psalms 10? Who had that? Where did you stop at?
I stopped at 2.
Keep going.
Okay, verse 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and the blessed, the covetous, whom the Lord abhorred.
Go ahead. Was that it? That's all the three? Give me verse 2 one more time, Sloppy.
The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
That's what I'm talking about. The device that they imagined, they came up with abortion.
That's right.
This is something that they put out there, abortion. And the Lord said, let them be taken in their own devices, right? Think about the stats right now, right? Why do they want to overturn abortion? Technically on the books, white people committing abortion big time in this country. You couple that with the other thing that we brought out, right? That the drug dealers. Drug dealers are always white people. I don't care who at the other end of the cartel. White people facilitate drugs coming in and out of this country. They make a way for it, right? So the opium epidemic that's going on right now to this day. I think what was the stat we read, Mashak? It's an ungodly number of them that's dying from opiate overdoses every year. You couple that with the fact that they can't produce a positive birth rate, meaning there's more of them dying than are born, with abortion on top of it, right? With being gay on top of it all. It ain't a lot of white folks, man, being born based on their own wicked devices that they have imagined and instituted to attack our numbers. That's the point. Read verse 2 again.
The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken.
Let them be taken. Go ahead.
In their devices that they have imagined.
In their let them be taken in their devices that they have imagined. Your drug abuse, your abortion, your gun violence, your homosexuality, all the prisons, all of that shit that they devised against us is about to come and bite them in the ass.
Right.
That's what this is about right here. All right. Bashar, give me the next precept that we have.
Next precept we have was Psalm 37 and 7.
Please.
That's Psalm 37 and 7. Like that one, if I could.
You got another question?
Well, I wanted to bring out something when you point why they're scared.
Okay.
This is from NPR, and I think they reached into the Pew research data. The change between 2010 and 2020 in the white alone population, they identify simply as being white people, They dropped in population by 19,276,000, or minus 8.6%.
Oh, you saying the white population broke off by 19 million? No, man, they take an act of God, didn't they? Or something like that. Are you serious? 19 million of them, 19 less million of them, compared to their projected numbers? Man, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, man. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? They shall be taken in their own devices. All right, give me the next precept.
Psalms chapter 37, verse 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of a man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
Wicked devices is that Planned Parenthood, man. The Lord said, be patient, man. I'm gonna take care of that Planned Parenthood. I'm gonna take care of all the devices that they have surmised against you. I'm gonna use those same devices, man, and it's gonna come and bite them back in the backside. I just gave you several examples. The one I love is that opiate. I remember we come out the barracks. You remember that day we come out the barracks? It's a goddamn devil sitting in this minivan. Gone, right? And listen, I'll take his water bottle and I'll open it up and I poured a whole bottle of water over his head, trying to show him some mercy to wake his ass up. And that hot car, he in there done, you know, from shooting up in the hot ass car. I'll take the bottle and pour it over his head, trying to get him to wake up. That bastard did not move at all. And I saw, you know, beads of sweat coming off of him and had a goddamn stench. You know what I mean? The devil was done, right? So the Lord is, man, he's doing what he said he would do. The things that they have dreamed up to attack Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian households and to bring our numbers down, all those devices that they have, you know, instituted against us, it's coming back. It's coming back to haunt them. All right, was that it? Give me the next precept, Michelle.
Next precept is Proverbs 19:21.
Read that for me.
Okay. Proverbs 19:21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand.
Meaning, like, no matter what, it's another precept that you know, that reminds me of this one, where it talks about the esteemed potter, right? Like, you know, the Lord created this earth to be a particular way, right? And who are we to undo his ordinances or his ways, right? Read that one more time, Slack.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. There are many devices in a man's heart.
In a man's heart. In a man's mind, there's many devices. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord.
Meaning what? Despite what's in your heart, the counsel of the Lord, keep going,
that shall stand.
Is the thing that stands. No matter what you think in your mind, no matter how many, like they might in their mind want to do away with 40 million of us. No matter what your intention is, it's the counsel of the Lord that's going to stand. And he's saying that despite all these wicked imaginations and devices that you are conjuring up to attack this people, my counsel is going to stand. Keep going.
Verse 20. Did I say no 21, sir?
What's the next verse, Michelle?
The next one would be Isaiah 32:7.
Please.
Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil.
The instrument of the what?
The churl are evil.
Let's talk about the cruel instrument. That's what that word cruel means. It's a cruel instrument. Go ahead. A cruel mentality. Go ahead.
He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
even when the needy speak
with lying words. Just think about what it would take to get you to just kill your baby. You know what I mean? That baby, that ain't even a living thing. That's not alive. That's like a BM or something. That's just like urinating. You know what I'm saying? It's no more than spitting on the ground. Right, you can't afford the baby, so they don't even sweat it. You know, God ain't thinking about that. That ain't real right now. Think about all of these words that you hear, that she heard when she was contemplating that abortion. It's one sister, man, I think it was Mildred Gatlin, it was some sister on the radio this morning, right? And I was so surprised. I don't really listen to the radio a lot. But it was a sister on the radio talking about her when she got raped. All the women in her family came together and took her to the abortion clinic. Come to find out, she was too far gone. So she didn't actually get the abortion. But the way she was speaking from like, if I don't have access to kill a baby, it is the worst thing in the world for women. And I was just like so disgusted. And it reminded me of Eve and Satan, believe it or not. It reminded me of how she had been convinced to work against her own interests and work against Adam and she believed it, to the depths of who she was and who she is, right? Similar to what you see black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women going through right now, trying to find their way in America. You know what I'm saying? I'll read it one more time, then go to the next precept.
The instruments also of the churl are evil.
Mm-hmm.
He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
That's abortion, man. You ain't gonna be able to get an education if you have that baby. Man, come to find out, you wasn't getting the education any goddamn way. You're still working at McDonald's. You're in the goddamn factory like the rest of us, man. What you thought you was gonna be, the president of the United States or something? You're still doing that thing that you never thought you would do, that they said a baby would hold you up from accomplishing. Man, get the hell out of here, Rashad.
And they also push, you mentioned it earlier, as if this is the biggest reason to get abortion. They push the excitable. They push something that's very small, 1% or 0.5% of all abortions are performed. 1.5% of all abortions performed for either rape or incest. That's it.
That's the point. That's not the narrative. When the majority of the abortions are committed by the woman that had that one night stand, or a sister that didn't think she could get pregnant, she was having sex, right? That's the majority of the abortions. They using them like birth control, right? We said, I think we covered that already,
right? But they lied and said this is the main reason you must be ready to give up.
But that's not, read it again. This scripture is talking about what the devil whispers into your ear to make you say, okay, I need to abort this baby. Okay. Read that again.
The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
Wicked devices to destroy the poor is Planned Parenthood. That's a wicked device to destroy the poor. It's Planned Parenthood. Because guess what? If we had those 70 million babies, right, we'd be better off. We own a little bit more. Like those of us that's in politics, we have a more political, stance in the country, right? Not to mention just sheer numbers is everything. Right now they're looking at us, they scared as hell, but imagine if we was 100 million in this country. Half of what their numbers are. There's 200 million of them. That means it's only now I got to just take out 2 of these goddamn devils. They don't want that. The average Judite is taking out 2-3 devils.
Right now we got to take out 5.
Now we got to take out 5. I think we can do it too. Please.
Psalms 127:5. Happy is the man that hath a quiver full of them.
You know it.
They shall not be ashamed, but he shall speak with his enemies in the day.
You know what I'm talking about, man? You think about you roll up to that situation, man. You got 15 sons with you, man. I got 15 sons. I can loan y'all 2, 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? And we Gucci. You know what I mean? Them sons are like, that's why I call them like the arrows in the quiver. Because your sons, man, think about your sons, ain't letting nothing go down with their dad. You know what I'm saying? No, go ahead.
It says, no children are an inheritance from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is his reward.
You see that?
Arrows in the hand of the mighty man. So are children of the youth.
You got that right. That's arrows in the hand of a mighty man. A mighty man slinging it. That's how nigga putting out his sons. Like, man, you don't want to deal with none of my boys. Then half the time, shit, you got an army like that. They don't even say nothing to you.
Right.
Like the thought of contending with you is far from their mind because they know your boys. So sons, man, there's another precept, man, about we have no sons in that abortion breakdown. I think it's in Jeremiah 49. Read 49, 1 through 3. It's another abortion scripture. We're gonna end it in a few. Give me another minute, just to close it out. Then we out of here.
Like I said, 1 through 3.
Yeah, Job. Or what?
Jeremiah 49.
Yeah, Jeremiah 49, 1 through 3.
Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 1. Concerning the Ammonite, thus saith the Lord, has Israel no sons? Hath he no heir? Then doeth their kings inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his cities.
So like with sons it's like, to your enemy, if you got sons, they afraid. But if you ain't got no sons, your enemy ain't afraid of you, man. They want to come in and put you in captivity. If you ain't got no young, strong men that's going to contend with that, that's going to put up a fight, you know what I'm saying? But then the question is like, damn, what happened to our sons? Why don't we have sons right now? This brother's walking around here 50, 60 years old, don't have any children at all. Lonely as hell, man. A big ass house. Let me see. Give me the next one on that. You got Michelle.
That's Jeremiah 18, verse 12. Jeremiah 18, verse 12.
Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 12. And they say, there is no hope, but we will walk after our own devices, and we will everyone do the imagination of his evil heart.
One more time. And everyone what?
And they say, there is no hope, but we will walk after our own devices, and we will everyone do the imagination of his evil heart.
All right, give me the next one, Michelle.
2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11.
2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Next one will be Job.
Yeah, let's just get all the precepts out, but I want them to get them.
Job 18, verse 7. That's Job 18, verse 7.
The book of Job, chapter 18, verse 7. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
One more time. These precepts that I'm bringing out right now all pertain to the devices that the wicked, the white man, has devised against the children of Israel. And the Lord is saying, despite everything that he is doing to bring your numbers down, to put you in prisons, to disenfranchise and discriminate against you and kill you, the Lord is saying in his own devices, it's going to come right back around to him. And a couple things that I want to bring out, we can stop the precepts. I want to back up what I'm saying right now. I sent you a couple articles, Michelle. Let's start with that suicide rate. Who killing themselves more in America, man? You'd be surprised. You would think this niggas up the block living in this crap in this urine. And don't even have barely a roof. Water's leaking through their joint. The gas is cut off. Right? They gotta collect rainwater to drink. You know what I'm saying? You would think it's niggas like that that's killing themselves. That got the threat of child support and police brutality and penitentiary. No education, no training, no hope. You would think them the people that's killing themselves would be niggas and you spicks and savages. You would think we killing ourselves, right? Man, but man, look, we're really killing this goddamn self. Read that, priest.
Thomas. This is from FFM Health, Health Magazine online. In 2017, men died by suicide 3.54 times more often than women. Middle-aged white men in particular are susceptible. White males accounted for nearly 70%.
Ooh, wait, hear it again.
White males.
The white man accounted for what?
For nearly 70% of suicide deaths in 2017.
Come on, you think that would be us, right? Would you think that it'd be niggas killing themselves? Or at least the Mexicans would be the ones killing themselves, right?
White males accounted for
come on, you know the Gadites killing themselves. You talking about the white man accounted for 70% of all suicides? They then inherited the best of every, he in milk and honey. You know what his problem is? His woman is leaving him. For that Judite. That's his big problem right there. Is that Judite didn't got his woman. His kids is grown and gone, he middle-aged. So his woman want to live her best life, she's divorcing him, and he's cacaing himself in the barn. So all right, read it one more time.
White males accounted for nearly 70% of suicide deaths in 2017, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
The Lord said He's gonna destroy them. He's gonna destroy them in their own devices. What the white man intended was for us to be so depressed and sad and lonely and disenfranchised to the point where we would kill ourselves and our babies. The Lord said He's gonna turn their own devices around on them. And that's what you're seeing right now. Everything from drug abuse, right, to suicide, you know what I'm saying, all of these, to abortion, all of these things, the Lord is turning around on this white man, the white man for his own wicked self, right? Do we have any other articles?
Did you want to finish that when I was raised by my father, or we was done with that?
No, I think we hit the point. I think we made that point. Jeremiah Hyman is on right now. I don't want to hold anybody else up.
What I can do is cite the states that do not report abortion by race.
Now think about this, right? We know that of the states that do report abortion, it is equal to like 300 plus thousand abortions, right? 350,000 abortions a year by black women alone of the states that do report based on race. The other states, the other 20 what?
22 out of them.
The other 22 don't report it. Right. So out of the half the union that reported, 350,000 a year. Now you can average that out and see how many is it a day. What is 350 divided by 365? What's 350,000?
This is under one.
Under what? That's a little under 1,000.
I thought about 9,000, 29, 10,000.
Yeah, right.
No, that's like 1,000.
It's like 300,000.
Like it's 350,000 divided by
365.
365.
I mean, right now.
365.
Yeah, 350,000 divided by
365.
365.
823.
Around 823. No, that's 823 babies guaranteed to be aborted every day of the week. Now, typically the abortion clinics are open on Sunday. I think they close Saturday too. So really, you're really talking about on the 5 days a week scale, over 1,000 babies aborted. Every single day of the year, man. And we just talking about Judite women. And that's only half of the ones that's reported. And then, hold on, let me go further. Again, as I said earlier, the biggest states do not report it. California, New York, Illinois. They are not reporting the abortion rates of black women. So of the states that are reporting it, 1,000 babies are aborted with that. That is astronomical number, man. And the Lord said, these wicked devices that they have imagined and dreamed up against us, He gonna put it on them. Now you see the same people that put this out here killing themselves, dying of opiate overdoses, depressed as hell, you know what I'm saying, and are the worst, most disgusting people in the earth right now. Mashah.
And have a declining birth rate.
And oh my God, that's the other thing I failed to mention. They can't have babies right now. They can't have babies for trying, man. They can't have babies for trying, but we breathe on the sister, and oh my God. Woo! She got baby in her.
Here are the states out of the line that do not report according to race.
Okay.
California, Colorado,
okay,
Hawaii,
okay,
Illinois, Iowa, Louisiana.
You telling me in Illinois you ain't got you got probably 1,000 abortions a day in Illinois, just from black women.
Oh God.
Oh, and then Louisiana not report. You know, in that southern state where black people depressed as hell, they killing their children.
Does not report by state.
Listen, man, the more you read, the more disgusting it become. The bottom line is this right here, man. The Lord is hearing the prayers of the Israelite school UPK. Keep your zeal up, keep your prayers. It might seem doom and gloomy, but if you look at what's really going on a micro level, you see the Lord is working for us. With that, I turn the class over to priest and officer who taking Kapanya Allah for reading the Slaki. Barak Yah for reading the security now. Clap it up for the Lord.
ISUBK security announcements. We are the ISUBK, started out 1 West, Charlotte, New York, rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After the 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Taj, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 20, 21. Malika 3 and 8 and 10 means 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashua. 10% of every penny increase that Lord gives to the treasury department. A teacher. Priest fund, free willing of priests. Not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
It's the Feast of the Blowing of the Trumpets.
Feast of Blowing of the Trumpets.
September 25th.
September 25th. With that being said, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, and headbands and scarves. With that being said, I want to give a courtesy salute to the teacher, Major, Mashabak, Major, Barak, Yah, Shim, Yah, Shah, Barakatah. Major, Matah, dismissed.
Trying to find something to follow, had loyalty, every man tried to borrow, felt pain and a lot of sorrow, got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke, living confused, about to lose hope, Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues for this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good break. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with his